Okay, I think we're live. This is the first time I'm actually going live in a long time, guys. So it would be nice to be interacting with you, but I think this is on short notice, so most likely I'm not gonna be getting any viewers for quite some time. So with that being said, that's all right. We're just gonna, you know, it's a Saturday. We're gonna go through it, um, and just look at Bitcoin. Been consolidating for quite some time in this area, guys, in this region, which can get very boring overall. And sometimes you just want to walk away from your trading desk and just move on. Sometimes even if you have a trade open, you don't want to be doing irrational things overall, because once you set your trade, you've already done your back testing. You've already looked at where to set your stop loss, where to put in your take profits and things like that. And if you guys are more interested in getting to learn more about trading, I will eventually be coming out with videos in regards to trading strategies and things like that, which might help you in regards to your overall craft, because I do know that some of you guys are traders overall, and why not increase your capital for your portfolio in the long term and just build for the next project you might want to be investing into, right? Having that extra capital to go in and actually invest into newer projects without having to put in any new capital, right? And all of the capital I put in into the crypto space, guys, has been recycled over years. So I haven't put in any new capital in a very long time. And that's due to the fact that I've been trading and basically making a lot of profits and been investing in a lot of these long-term plays, whether it's basically Zen, whether you're paying the gas fees or just basically buying outright on the market, or you're basically invested in bags, the BAP token, or Bitcoin, the big macro cap coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And there's some nice plays out there as well too that basically will hedge you against regulation and all that good stuff, right? We know that regulation is a big thing in regards to this space, what's been happening with the SEC and all that stuff. So with that being said, you want to ensure, whether or not regulation is going to come hard in regards to the crypto space, you want to have your portfolio overall set and ready for that. And by trading, you can basically get ahead of that, and having a strategy and applying risk management is the most key important thing that I always urge people to learn. Whether it's basically opening up a demo account, go and open up a demo account, guys. You don't have to use actual capital, just to basically familiarize yourself with the platform, right? And start to learn about, derivatives, leverage trading, and things like that, just to get a sense of idea of what, basically moves the market in some sense. And with that being said, just opening up a demo account can help you. But if emotionally, sometimes emotions play a big role when it comes to trading. And you really won't get that emotional aspect of the trading until you actually use your own capital and start trading from there. And then you start to feel the market, and you feel anxious and you feel anxiety and all these things when it comes to trading. And it's not easy in the beginning, right? It's not easy in the beginning. And that's why you have to consume yourself as much as you can with applying strategies and learning all the all the things that come within trading, right? Trading and applying risk management, guys. So we can see that Bitcoin is basically consolidating in this region since June 22nd for quite some time overall. Basically been ping-ponging in this area of 29,000 to 30 to the upper side of 29,000 to $31,000 area. And sometimes the market can get boring here, but we do know that when we look at through the history of Bitcoin, at times when we've gone these low volatility points, these low level of volume in Bitcoin's chart history, we know it's followed up by a big massive move. Now, with that being said, usually 90% of the time you're basically consolidating in some sort of region, and then you wait for that big 10%. That 10% that comes in is either you're basically going up or down in that case, and that 10% move is the big move that you're basically waiting for overall. So we can see that Bitcoin right now again is staying above $30,000 area. Just going below around 29,000. This particular candle hasn't touched below 29. We're currently starting to see that maybe go below it. But overall, this is where we are in terms of Bitcoin. Really nothing has changed. We're continuing to basically apply our strategy overall and just waiting for that to happen. I already took the move, already took the trade, guys, and it's just basically staying in that trade. I've taken some profits off of that, and we can see this particular move in itself on the 2-day has netted around 18 to 20%, guys. So not too bad in terms of profits overall. So I am heavily big into it, and I've taken some profits off of the table and just basically letting the rest ride out. So Bitcoin is continuing to do its thing on the shorter time frames. Again, the 4 hour we were talking about, again, that divergence that we're getting on the lower time frame, we're putting in the higher low, and that's basically where it's coming at this key critical area, the 55-day moving average and the 21-day moving average coming to a cross, which is starting to put downside pressure overall in Bitcoin. So this is where that big move came in, right? We started to see the higher low right here, so right there, and now you were basically putting in lower low on price action. You came up to this particular 55-day moving average. We're currently getting rejected. As long as Bitcoin stays below this, the bears do have control overall. If we can close above the 55-day moving average, momentum can shift. And most likely our scenario that we've been playing out for our strategy is that we're looking at Bitcoin to basically go up to $38,000 from here. But again, guys, this is basically what's happening on Bitcoin. I know sometimes it can get boring and can get redundant overall, and it can become repetitive, just repeating the same thing over and over again. But it is what it is with Bitcoin. Let's just talk about Zen real quick, guys. Okay, because there's something new happening with Zen in terms of the price chart. We can see basically we are trading below our critical support structure that we've been basically talking about, that really Zen needs to hold. Now, at this current time, really, there is not much development happening specifically just for Zen. The new projects, we need new projects essentially to come out on Zen and making more Zen deflationary. And that's why we started having that big, massive move to the upside, right? DB's NFT came out, right? That drove us substantially up, right? Which drove us heavily, about 1,000%, guys. And if you took some profits off that, congratulations, guys. But if you didn't, you could have made use of the current price action, right? You could have basically bought in. You could have minted a lot more. You could have done a lot of things just by basically taking some profits off of this big, massive move, guys. There's nothing wrong with taking profits at the end of the day, guys. Nothing wrong with that. And I've been in this crypto space for more than 6 years, and I can tell you for assurance, coming from the traditional stock market, trading equities and things like that, you have to basically take profits to sustain yourself. Even if you believe in the project in the long run, right? You have an opportunity to basically accumulate more and not put in new capital, right? The best thing a trader can do is not put in new capital and just put in the recycled gains that you took profit off of from this particular trade, guys. And that's what I urge at this channel, guys, is that you always recycle your gains. Don't ever put in new capital if you can. And that's why you need to learn the art of trading. You need to learn the art of applying strategies. That way you can actually become more successful in the market. But just going back to this and looking into this, we've been saying for quite some time, this is a very key critical support area for Zen, basically to hold off. Now, because we broke below it, this is actually going to start to act as resistance. We can see on the lower time frame, we already tried coming and breaking above, which was once support structure, right here. You can see very good support structure. Now it's going to be acting as resistance. So if we actually bring this up right here, you can see that the 55-day moving average has been playing very heavy resistance for Zen. Okay, bearish momentum coming in every time we've been testing the 55-day moving average, the green line that you guys see right here. So every time we're coming up to this, we are getting rejected. Same thing here, same scenario. We came up. Now we got rejected by the 55. We also got rejected by the resistance line right here that we've been basically discussing. Now, what I'd like for Zen on the lower time frames is that we basically get above the 1198 area. And I think if we can get above the 1998 area, then the most likely scenario is that we can turn this back into support again. But with us, with these new mints continuing to basically come out and people not having a long-term belief in Zen, right, it's going to continue to play downside pressure, and we're most likely going to test the lows of the all-time lows for Zen. And we could even go a lot lower from there. So I don't see something new happening in terms of price action until, new development comes into the Zen ecosystem with, DBs, NFTs essentially coming out in October to November. I don't see this turning around anytime soon overall, because, those people that came in around October, November, that basically were early minters into Zen, they're basically dumping. Okay, they're dumping the price of Zen. And really nothing new is happening in terms of the whole ecosystem of Zen, right? There's no real new development. The only thing that you can do is you can just go to DB's NFT. Okay, you can participate in Phoenix, but that seems like the hype for those are basically drying off as well too. Now, the only thing you would ask yourself is it really time for me to really start paying attention to what's happening to the Zen price, because we are nearing the bottoms of it, right? We're nearing very close of it. Now, the onboarding price is basically, you're just basically paying the gas fee and you're minting your Zen NFTs, or you're basically doing vanilla mints. So that's the only price you're paying, unless you're going on the market and you're buying it at that price. So let's see what some of the comments are saying here. I feel like Zen is long shot, but if you don't mint the risk, then it's worth a shot. Depends on your risk. Yeah. So guys, just basically mint it. That's the lowest risk to reward you can have in the Zen ecosystem. You don't have to go in and buy it, right? And if you believe it's a long-term play, then the minting aspect of it is the best play you can have, guys. I was lucky to take some profits during the last pump, so glad to hear that, man. I encourage you basically to take profits and buy in, and if you did, congratulations, man. You could be basically buying at these lower levels. Most Zen tokens are coming off from September real dump. Yeah, so most of these are basically coming from the early adopters of Zen, all the way from when Zen basically was released. So a lot of these people are basically heavily in profit. I saw one tweet from Trayvon basically saying that he spent about $80 to $100 and in gas fee on Ethereum, and he's basically making $400 to $500 in Zen NFT, which is pretty good, guys. I got in around December. I actually bought some Zen, and I started making videos on Zen just around this point right here, guys, right at the bottom of it. When we start to see that regular divergence play coming in, I started telling you guys about it on Twitter, saying this is a good opportunity. We're going to see some upside, specifically knowing that, again, Zen was going to have some user utility, right? It wasn't just forever down coin that everybody basically thought. And we started getting that big altcoin run. The meme coins started coming into play. That big aspect of meme coins came into play, and then Zen, rode off of that, and we started seeing almost more than 1,000% in gains, guys. So all these trading calls, guys, I post for you on Twitter. So if you want to follow me there, I come out with a lot of calls in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of Zen, what's happening there, in terms of a lot of altcoins. So it's an opportunity for you guys to see what I'm doing personally. Again, this is not financial advice, guys. You don't even have to take these trades, right? You can just see in terms of my story, what I'm doing in terms of my portfolio, and you can see my losses. At the end of the day, guys, if you see a lot of traders out there and they say they don't take losses, you need to run away as far as you can. Because when it comes to trading, you are going to have losses. It's about minimizing your losses and ensuring that your portfolio is up to par in what you're doing when you're applying risk management, guys. Applying risk management is the most key important thing that you could be doing overall for your portfolio. And if you see a trader saying they don't take any losses, I don't know what to tell you guys. They must have, there is no perfect strategy. I can tell you that for sure, is that there's no perfect strategy out there that, basically wins you a strike rate of 100%. Sometimes you do see those on the higher time frames when you apply some of these strategies, but most cases, usually, you're gonna have even a win rate of 60% is good, guys. One trade doesn't define you at the end of the day, right? You want to take a series of trades. You want to take a series of 30 trades, and then have a strike rate of 60%, right? So you want to have 70% probability that you're going to be basically winning out of those 30 trades, right? That's how you basically become profitable as a trader. So with that being said, this is basically what's happening with Zen. Again, we broke below this particular key support structure. Again, this is unfortunate. It is what it is. This is how the Zen ecosystem is continuing to play out. But let me know in the comment section what you guys are doing. Are you continuing to basically mint and participate in this ecosystem? Or are you basically just waiting for lower prices so that you can basically maybe scoop up some Zen off of the market? What are you actually doing, guys? That's what I want to hear. Are you even participating in Vmpx? Did you participate in the mint? Now, I did make that video yesterday, talking about how Vmpx is controlled by the big whales. We can see that 30 wallets basically control more than 47% of the supply for Vmpx, EVMPX specifically. And if those same people participated on the BRC20 side of it, then you could see that it's a whales game, right? With X1, with EVMPX. So it is what it is. You can basically debate it to say whether or not it was fairly distributed with a short amount of time. I mean, if you actually got in and you're following Jack on Twitter, you're following a lot of these influencers that are basically talking about Zen, so you would have known about the minting phase, and knowing that Vmpx is going to play a pivotal role in regards to X1 and with the bridge and everything like that. So a lot of people would have known about it in terms of, whether it was fairly distributed. Well, that's for up to debate, guys. I mean, everybody has their opinions based off of that, but it is what it is. I think it's better than most projects out there. We can see that most projects, the founder allocation, guys, is more than 20 to 30%. You see that Jack is a part of the community. He's going in, and just like himself, just like everybody else, he's going in and he's minting his own coins. So how more fair can you get at the end of the day? And it's just basically it is. Once the contract is live, basically you can't change it. And I think that is first principle in some sort of way, right? Now he's going to go in and mint his own coins, and whether or not he has more capital than the next person, that's always going to be the scenario, guys. There's always going to be somebody out there who's going to have more capital than you, and who's going to be able to get a lot more chunk of X1 or EVMPX at launch, right? So it is what it is. You can't really complain about that. But what you can do is basically follow the whales, see what they're doing, basically just to get a better understanding of where you can actually be selling maybe your coins or maybe even buying. Because in the past, we've seen, even in the 2017 bull run, we saw even Charlie Lee, right, the founder of Litecoin, basically come out and started selling his coins, right? And that basically marked the top for Litecoin. So if you would have followed a whale, you would have sold the top, guys. Same thing with Vitalik, right? Vitalik himself, previous bull market, he sold the top. So if you would have followed the whale, right, the founder, then you would have been in profit heavily, guys. So following the whales is not too bad, right? Following the whales is not too bad. They can tell you a lot in regards to what's happening within the price action and kind of going from there. But again, yeah, I mean, let's look at Vmpx just quickly here. We can see that the main resistance on the mid time frame comes in around the 9-10 cent area. So it is, I think if we can get above the 10 cent area, then most likely there's not much resistance. The only resistance you're looking at is the 19 cent area. And I think this can, if once it starts to have utility and the bridge opens and the liquidity starts to flow back in from Ethereum to Bitcoin, and if Jack thinks that maybe, the liquidity is going to be moved away from Ethereum into Bitcoin in the future, then this wouldn't be a bad idea, right? This wouldn't be a bad idea in participating in something that will move the liquidity away back and forth between, Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's not too bad, guys. Just knowing that you're diversified into different, into the different Zen ecosystem coins, and knowing that maybe VMPX might do well. But again, dollar cost average, guys, apply risk management. Again, these are speculative assets. They can, at the end of the day, they can, do very, very terrible, right? We saw what happened with DB's NFT, just completely get taken out, guys. Went from $70 all the way, to what it's currently trading at the moment. What is it currently trading at? Let's look at this, guys. It's currently trading around $3.40, guys. That's horrible. That's that's completely horrible. Knowing that there was so much hype around $89, guys, and then just completely, lower lows after lower lows. It's been terrible overall, and I feel like what Razvan has been able to do and trying to try to bring DB's NFTs to try to bring this project back to light. I do feel like he cares about his project. I do feel like he's trying to bring life back into it, but in some way he has a mountain to climb, just like how Zen does. Okay. And we've seen every project that has come out on Zen, hasn't been doing too well, right? We saw that happen with Phoenix. We saw what happened recently with Zenlon, with the liquidity just basically getting rug pulled. And we saw a lot of these coins, again, on a lot of these chains, just do horrible. Now, again, the opportunity can present itself, again, if you're basically just minting, guys. Let's see. Boxing Fang says, I don't mind the occasional loss as for the moment, it's about learning and gathering decent wall by getting ready for the next bull run. Yeah, guys, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for you guys to just basically learn as much as you can. Continue to, diversify yourself into this ecosystem, whether it's about learning how to trade, whether it's basically learning about the technology, about blockchain, learning about all these cool things that are basically being developed, right? And this is how I got into the crypto space. I started learning about blockchain, learning about Bitcoin, then going through the rabbit hole, essentially. And then once I went through the rabbit hole, I started learning a lot more about Ethereum, and this was back in 2017, guys. The only thing that you had in terms of close to NFTs was CryptoKitties. And that basically drove the gas fees up substantially, guys. That was crazy. We were experiencing gas fees of $200 to $300, and it was ridiculous, guys. Just like the previous bull market. But what I do think when it comes to Zen being on a lot of these other ecosystems like Avalanche and being on Avalanche and being on Polygon, being on Phantom, it is good. It is good because it gives you the ability to go on and mint there at a very low cost entry barrier, right? We see like Avalanche is costing maybe $3 to $4 basically to mint a Centurion, where if you go on Moonbeam, it's basically pennies or cents basically you're paying to onboard yourself on those other chains. Okay, so opportunity is presented. Now, Jack did come out. I think he did tweet. I don't know if he removed that tweet. But he did come out and he said that, Zen is going to have a utility where people can actually start building their own coin. And then once you build your own coin, people can basically burn and participate in your own coin that way by burning Zen. So that's actually pretty cool as well too, which brings in a lot more use case for Zen, making Zen more deflationary as well too, which is good in some sort, guys. And there was another post he posted in regards to Eric Wall. Where was it here? I can't find it, but it's basically with Vitalik. He's talking about how there's a lot of development happening with Bitcoin, and how Bitcoin is coming back to life when it comes to development, right? Because for quite some time, these Bitcoin maxis did not want to change the Bitcoin code. They just wanted it to be what it is, right? And that is the gold standard, right? And they didn't want to touch it. They feel that it's the most secure network, and that's what Bitcoin is, right? It's the most secured, most valuable network. And they feel that by doing and bringing in a lot more development can basically tarnish that, can tarnish the security of Bitcoin. But look, BRC20s has has a long way to go, has a long way to prove itself. And I think in the long run, it will be very good. And I think that Jack is in the right boat when in regards to Zen, VMPX, knowing that the next bull market is going to be driven by Bitcoin, okay, and be driven by BRC20s and be driven by smart contract capabilities on Bitcoin. So he sees the value. He needs to basically direct his project where he feels the most value will come from. And he feels that Bitcoin is going to bring the most value to his project. And a lot of these maxis, they feel that Bitcoin is the standard. They're never going to go to Ethereum. But we've seen every bull market in the past that basically Bitcoin has this big run-ups. It does have this big run-up in price. And then eventually we start to see that capital essentially trickle down to a lot of these altcoins, trickle down to hopefully to BRC20s. And you know what's happening with BlackRock and these institutions getting the green light in terms of, you know, being able to hold spot Bitcoin. It's a great narrative overall. Why wouldn't you want to set your project up for success and knowing that where you're going to be directing your project over to the most liquidity? And the most liquidity is in Bitcoin. Okay, and that's what I feel that a lot of people don't understand. Eventually, once Bitcoin has these usual tops that we see right here, right? We saw this happen in 2017. A lot of that profit trickled down to altcoins, guys. You know, a lot of those profits trickled down once Bitcoin starts to hit its all-time high, you know. And it will eventually maybe some of that liquidity will move into Zen, but it's yet to be seen, guys. You know, we have a long way to go. We have, you know, things we're dealing with in terms of regulation and things like that. So there's long ways that we have to go in terms of Bitcoin really becoming the true asset, the true commodity through in terms of regulation, right? So there's a lot of things that Bitcoin still has to fight overall. Anyways, guys, yeah, I mean, it's been great going on live here. So this is the first time. It's nice being able to communicate with you guys. So I'm going to keep it short here. I'll be ending the stream. Unless you guys have any particular questions or you want me to look at any particular projects or do some technical analysis on those and give you my thoughts on some of the chart analysis in terms of the projects that you guys might be looking at. Anyways, guys, I'll leave you off with this. I hope you enjoyed this live. If you did, give it a thumbs up. We will do more live videos like this, and I'll probably be doing a giveaway as well too. Why not? Okay. Anyways, guys, I'll leave you off with this. Until next time, bros. As always, stay